drawing sounds. Let's start with the vowels.
A apple A safe A acorn A Alaska E and A E me E P E I itchy I pine I high I compliment O octopus O kono O no you upper you u you mu you flew you people Y baby E Y cry I
And then do schwa.
found Shua Dragon Biba F H J J M P P S V V W H W T H A M I L D I N G ing O N K onk S I U N Jin or shin.
So first we're just gonna do some repeat words.
Malice
Malice, okay. This sound, what does this sound make?
is
S-I-S, good. Because we know this is a,
vowel consonant E exception. Tattoo. Bon voy.
now we're gonna go to what we're learning about the one rule, which is one syllable. It either has to be closed or R controlled. And one consonant after the vowel. Okay, let's look at this word first. Okay, what's the word?
Bib.
Okay, is it one syllable? Is it closed or R controlled?
It's closed.
Okay, is that one consonant after the vowel?
Yes.
Okay. Remember we learned if I add a vowel suffix, do I have to add an extra consonant or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I want to change this to fibbing. So we'll,
Be a B I N G.
so what's the word?
Fibbing.
Fibbing.
Snob.
Snob. Okay, is it one syllable word? Is it closed or R controlled?
Closed.
Closed, is that one syllable?
Yes.
One consonant after vowel?
Okay.
Okay. I want to change it to snob E. What letter makes that E sound?
Y.
A Y. And when it's a Y,
A vowel.
it's a vowel.
So we need to add a B.
Yeah. And a Y. And what's the word?
Snobby.
So what's the word?
Bid.
Bid. What is it again?
Bid.
Bid. Okay. Is it a one syllable word? Yeah. Is it closed or R controlled?
Closed.
Does it have one consonant after vowel? Yes. I want to change it to bidding.
You add B. ING.
What's the word?
Bidding. Bag.
Bag. Is it one syllable word? Is it closed or R controlled?
Closed.
Does it have one consonant after vowel? Yes. Okay. This one's a little harder, so I'm gonna write it and then
Baggage.
baggage. And this one gets an extra one because AGE is the suffix and A is a
Vowel. Stun.
Stun. Is it a one syllable word?
Yeah.
Is it closed or R controlled?
Closed.
Does it have one consonant after vowel?
Yes.
Okay. I want to change it to stunned.
You added ED. Oh, you added an ED?
So what's the word?
Stunned.
Quick drill through some of these words.
Sorry.
Try that again.
Private. Cinch. Suggest. Watch. Embrace. Expression. Inflatable. Ooh, 4-H. Practice. Imagine. Vacation. Atmosphere.
Say that one again.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. Yeah.
Must.
So say that one more time.
Atmosphere. Picture. Settlement. Noticeable. Probe. Probed. Horrible. Curb. Parrot. Served. Percolate. Avenue. Cruise. Stream. Relay. Powder. Soothing. Circus. Paragraph. Blizzard.
Good.
Damn! Doll.
Okay, so these are the ones that we're working on for our sub-step. So let's go through these ones.
Waxing. Dropping. Sagged. Biggest. Floated. Spender. Starring.
Okay, I want you to take this one, and let's do this one, and I want you to mark them how you would, based on what you see. Oh, not with that. Do you remember? So I can just, I can just,
No, fuck up. Wouldn't it be like, you just circle this, you underline this.
that's fine. Hold on. Actually, let me look it up, because now I'm like, now you're making me confused. And I wanna make sure we do it right. I'll just cut this out. Where's the book? Here it is.
Starring. Circle iron.
Sorry. Oop.
Oh wait, what you, wait, no. Yeah, you circle this.
10.2, 10.3. Okay. So, you circle the suffix, yep. You underline the base word, so what's the base word here?
Star.
Star. And then this is the extra R, so we cross it out, because we don't need it. It just does make the sound. So wax. So, yep, and then underline the base word. Perfect.
Ooh, right. Man, this is special.
Okay.
I'll do more.
The next thing, no, it's gonna be really quick. Well, not really quick, but
You need this?
yeah. It's gonna be these two. I want you to separate these words, and it's your choice. You could separate them by digraph, by blend. If you
Okay.
can't find anything in them, you could do it by a multi-syllable word. You can say it has 2 syllables. You could do 3 syllables. You could do a suffix. Your choice, okay? So these are your words to sort, and then you can tell me how you sorted them after you sort them.
No wonder. Can I start in my colors?
If you like. No, not by color, no.
Can I do by arc-controlled?
Yep.
Powder. Circuit. All of them almost.
I would. This has the sound, but this ER really is not the R control. What is this ER really? It's a
Suffix.
suffix, so might want to move that one.
One by one. Would it be one?
Yep.
One.
Mhm.
Would this be one?
Yep.
Would this be one? No.
No. You can make that like a set. You can put that in its own category. It's up to you.
Multi-syllable.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what did you find in these ones? What did you separate it by?
pH. And
Okay, so what?
CH.
So what do they all have in them? All these
Digraphs.
words? Oh, they all have digraphs in them. Okay, so read the word and then tell me the digraph that's in it.
Picture, CH or TCH.
Oh, so that what does that call when it's a consonant and a digraph together? Do you remember? It's called digraph blend.
Oh,
we haven't done that in a while, so.
Memory. Paragraph has pH.
Mm-hmm.
Atmosphere has pH. and soothing, SCH.
Good. Okay. And what did you do these ones?
The R controlled,
Okay.
like parrot, AR,
Good.
serve, ER, and circus, IR.
Good. What did you do for these ones?
I did one by one.
The 1-1-1 roll. Okay.
There was SAG, and then you add GED.
Yep.
And there was drop, and you add dropping by adding PING.
Good. And what did you decide for that one?
Multi-syllable, if
Okay.
you do mentions.
Okay. So how would you scoop it then?
Probably W and D, like
And what's the word?
powdered.
Powder. So now we're going to talk about a new vocabulary word. So the word that we're going to talk about is fatal. Do you have any ideas what fatal means?
Deadly.
Yes, so the definition for fatal is causing death, okay? My sentence for fatal was the gunshot wound was fatal, which means that if it was fatal, what happened to the person?
Dead.
Yeah, they died.
Fatal fields.
Okay, can you think of a sentence with the word
Fatal. Could be fun related.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
I landed in fatal fields.
Okay,
Right.
I landed like in a deadly field. Okay, so the next thing I want you to do is open it up. Yep, so you gotta find. Let's see,
Vocab.
vocab, yep. And look
F.
for the letter, yep.
F. Fatal fields.
So the word is fatal. And the definition is causing death. So that's the meaning. And I need you to write it in a sentence.
Mount sentence.
Yes. Okay, what do you need at the end of your sentence? Okay, what's your sentence?
I landed in fatal fields.
Okay, now you need to draw a picture to help you remember what that means. Good, awesome. Okay, so let's close that for a second. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna drill our sight words that we have here.
Weedy.
So these are ones that you should know.
There. Minute. Anybody.
Yeah.
Goals. Some. Mountain. Toward. Shall. Against. Though. Beautiful. New. Toward. Island. Island. Eighth. Once. Off. Of. Against. Said.
Okay. I'm gonna pick maybe 3 and I'm gonna ask you a sentence that you can use for that sentence.
Weedy.
Okay. Let's do mountain. Can you give me a sentence using the word mountain?
I drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. How about against? Can you think of a sentence using the word
When I get
against?
really tired of standing up, I go against the wall.
Yeah, I go against the, or I would say kind of like I lean.
Against the wall.
Well, some. Think of a sentence using the word
I love
some.
some of these foods, and some of them I don't love. Boy. I do more.
Nope, that's it. So that's our drill. So now we're gonna learn a new one. You probably know this one.
Answer.
Answer. So this could be a little challenging when we think about it, because what sound don't you hear when you're saying it?
Answer.
What sound?
W.
Yeah, you don't hear the W. So that's why it could be a little tricky. So do you have any ideas maybe what a definition for answer would be?
Answer to like
Okay.
a thing to the problem.
Yeah. Okay. So the real definition is to say or write something to deal with or as a reaction to someone or something. So I wrote, my sentence was, I have the answer to the problem. So that's what
That
you
would
were
be my
saying.
sentence.
Yes, that's fine.
I could say my friend gave the answer to this problem.
Perfect. Okay. So we're gonna open up this time to the sight words. And we're gonna look for A, so we're all the way to the beginning. It's your sentence, right? What do you need at the end of your sentence? Okay. Your sentence.
My friend gave me the answer.
That's not your full sentence. Well, it's not what all it says there.
Oh, my friend gave me the answer to the puzzle.
We're gonna do our wordless trying, but we're gonna practice a couple of them off the top first.
Ragged.
What would it sound if you scooped it?
Rigged.
No,
Oh,
rag.
ragged. Oh, ragged. Mm. Band.
Mm-hmm.
Copper. Or copper.
What do you think? Well, here's the opposite one. Which one's which?
Oh, this could be copper. This could be copper. Is it the other way around?
Mhm.
How we do this? How we do this?
That's fine. Okay, so, because think about it. You said copper, so you added that extra P. What does this one say?
Copper.
Copper. Okay,
Remember that. Gap.
good. Let's do one more.
Sniper.
Good. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Dotting. Lobed. Canning. Dimming. Dining. Lobbed. Would it be canning or canning? No, canning. Canning. Shining. Sniping. Shinning. Snipping. Mating. Sloping. Matting. Slopping.
This is the only. Yeah, go ahead. Ask a question. That's fine.
It'd be canning. Just be canning. Canning. 'Cause they both sound the same. They're spelled differently.
The sentences, we're going to turn to page 46.
You still with me, finger? You're still with me.
Okay, so first read the sentence in your head and then read it out loud to me.
The rubbing alcohol might help to clean this cut. Sadly, this child's fibbing habit is well established. If our candidate is elected, taxes would not be raised. Barb made a foxy maneuver to win the game of backgammon.
Pretty close.
Maneuver. Manual.
Maneuver.
Maneuver.
Yeah, it has the sound. It's a sh. So what would it be? That'd be a schwa. So say the sentence again.
Barb made a foxy maneuver to win the game of backgammon. The time seemed to be slowly dragging. The detective was on duty to hopefully reduce the mugging. He strongly hoped to avoid more taxes if all possible. The mugger escaped quickly into the hectic streets. Tom has been waxing his new truck since 12 o'clock. Steven was jobless due to his company's recent layoff.
Okay. In sentence 6, what do you think the word mugging means? The detective was on duty, hopefully to reduce the mugging.
Like someone stole something?
Exactly. Stealing. Sentence 2, what is fibbing? Sadly, the child's fibbing habit is well established. That'd be like if I said to you, I don't like you. That's just a fib.
It's like something. Addiction.
No,
Lie.
kind of like a lie. Like you lie about things a lot, and that kind. What does sentence 10 mean?
He had no more job
Why?
after the recent layoff.
And what is a layoff?
I have no idea. Wait, is it when, like he laid off you or something?
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes in companies, like they can't afford to have as many people on their team anymore, so they lay them off. So it's not that they're not good at their job; it's that they don't have any more spots for people. I'm wondering if maybe you can find me one word that has the one rule. In these sentences.
Tom.
What is it?
Would it be Tom? One syllable, closed, and has a con.
Okay, that could be one. In these sentences, it's gonna have a suffix at the end. I'm gonna give you that hint. So it's gonna have the suffix already added to it.
Dragon.
Dragging. Yep, because what would be the base word?
Drag.
Drag. Does that follow the steps? Because is it a one syllable word?
Mhm.
Is it closed or are controlled?
Closed.
Good. And does it only have one consonant after the vowel?
Yes.
Yes. And then when we add ing, we know that we need to put the G in because it's a vowel suffix. Good. We're gonna draw our sounds. The first sound is I. What's the sound?
I.
What says I?
It can be I, continent, E,
Yep.
or I, open syllable,
Or?
Y.
Good. Okay. The next sound is a.
A.
What says a?
A.
Good. The next sound is O.
O.
What says O?
O, continent, E. O, open syllable.
Okay. What else says O?
OA
Mm-hmm.
and OE.
Good. Okay. Say D.
Duh.
What says D?
D.
Say G.
G.
What says G?
G.
Say Lul.
O.
What says Lul?
L.
Let's do it. Oh, okay. Say
Mm.
Mm.
N.
What says N?
N.
Good. Say Qua.
Qua.
What says Qua?
Q. U.
Say T.
T.
What says T?
T.
Say Z.
Z.
What says Z?
Z.
Or.
S.
Good. Say Am.
Am.
What says Am?
A-M.
Say All.
All.
What says All?
O-A-L-L.
Say Eind.
Eind.
What says Eind?
I-N-D.
Good. Say Ild.
Ild.
What says Ild?
I-L-D.
Say Ank.
Ink.
What says Ank?
O-A-N-K.
Good. Say Shun.
Shun.
What says Shun?
S-I-O-N.
Or.
Or T-I-O-N. Utron.
Okay. I want you to think about this word first. I'm gonna put
Ma'am.
this next to it. I'm just gonna go on to. So the word is starving. Okay? But what's the base word?
Starve.
Starve. How do you spell starve?
S-T-A-R-V.
Okay, if you were gonna just spell the word starve, there's something else that needs
Oh, E.
Good. So that's starve, okay? We need to make it into starving. So first, what's the suffix?
Ing.
Yeah, so what are the letters?
Starve. Oh, you would take out the E and add the I-N-G.
Good. So I would take out the E,
And add I-N-G.
ing. So what's the word?
Starving.
Good. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
The word is ponder. So what's the word?
Pond.
Good. So what's the base word?
Pond.
Okay, how do we spell pond?
S-P-O.
No, it's pond. Pond.
Oh,
Sorry.
pond. Oh, sorry. P-O-N-D.
Pond. Okay, that's our base word. Okay, I want it to be ponder.
A-B-E-R.
Good.
So we should leave it like that.
Yep. Good job. So what's the word?
Ponder.
We're gonna do this next word, and so the word is foy. So I need you to repeat it.
Boy.
Foy.
Boy.
Is there a spelling option in this word?
Yes.
Yes. So
I
show
know the
me.
first letter is F.
So the first letter is F, and then comes your spelling option. Okay.
This can be O-I or O-Y.
Okay. So try both options. So is it foy or
Boy.
okay? Which option do you think is correct?
This,
Why?
because I know that it doesn't end with an I, and it mostly ends with a O-Y.
Good. So it's F
O-Y.
Y. And what's the word?
Boy.
Boy. Okay. So you can come to the
Boy.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say the word. Remember, we're working on that 1-1-1 rule. So it's either closed or are controlled.
Mm-hmm. One syllable.
Closed or are controlled.
One syllable.
One syllable, and
And
then
it has a
one consonant after
after
the
the
vowel. So the word is gabber.
Gab.
Gabber. Okay. What would be the base word?
Gab.
Gab. So how would you spell that?
G-A-B.
Good. Okay, so let's look at G-A-B. Remember, we're working that 1-1-1 rule. So is it closed or are controlled? Closed. Is it a one-syllable word? Yes. Does it have one consonant after the vowel? Yes. Okay. So it follows the right procedure. So now I want to change it into gabber.
Oh, you add a B-E-R.
And what's the word?
Gabber.
Okay. The word is fibbing. Repeat the word.
Fibbing.
So what is the base word?
Fib.
Fib. How do we spell fib?
F-I-B.
F-I-B. Okay. Is it a closed or are controlled word?
Close.
Is it one syllable?
One, yeah.
Is there one consonant after the vowel? Yes. So it follows our 1-1-1 rules. Okay. I want to change it to fibbing.
Oh, you add a B-I-B.
How do you know that you add a B?
Because it starts with a vowel, and if it starts with a vowel, you add a consonant.
Good. And what was the word?
Fibbing.
So the word is bumming. Repeat the word.
Bumming.
So what's the base word?
Bum.
Bum. How would you spell that?
B-U-M.
Good. Bum. Okay. Is it a closed or are controlled word?
It's closed.
Good. Is it one syllable?
Yeah.
Has a one consonant after the vowel. Good. So it follows our 1-1-1 rules. So now I want to change it to bumming.
You add an M-I-N-G.
What's the word?
Bumming.
The word is jobless.
Jobless.
Okay. What's the base word?
Job.
Job. How do you spell job?
J-O-B.
Is it a closed or are controlled word?
Close.
Is it one syllable?
Mm.
Is it one consonant after the vowel? Okay. So we have job. I want to make it jobless.
You add L-E-S-S.
L-E what?
S-S.
Good. Okay. And what's the word?
Jobless.
Jobless. Last one. The word is summing.
Summing.
What is the base word in summing?
S-U-M.
What's it?
Summing. Oh, S-U-M.
No, that's how you spell it. What's the base word?
Oh, sum.
Sum. And then how do you spell it?
S-U-M.
Good. Okay. Is it closed or arc controlled?
Close.
Is it one syllable?
Mhm.
Is it one consonant after the vowel? Okay. Now I want to change sum into summing.
You add an M-I-N-G.
Good. What's the word?
Summing.
Written word. So first we're going to start with the sounds, okay? So the first sound is ah. Say ah.
A.
What says ah?
A.
Good. Say What says
M.
Say e.
E. Oh, E, consonant E. E, open syllable. E, E. E, Y. E, A. And Y, multi-syllable.
Yeah, in a multisyllabic word at the.
And.
Good. Okay. Say p.
P.
What says p?
P.
Say j.
J.
What says j?
J.
Or
O-G.
followed by
I.
yeah.
E.
Yep.
Y.
Good. Okay. You ready for the first real word? Listen first, okay? The first word is plotting. So repeat the word.
Plotting.
Okay. What's the base word?
Plot.
Plot. How do you spell plot?
P-L-O-T.
Good. So how am I going to change it to plotting? What do I need to add?
Oh yeah, T-I-N-G.
Good. How would you? How would you?
I do plotting.
Okay, if you were going to scoop it, that's what you do. Remember, what do we do?
Oh, you circle
Circle
this,
this.
underline this, and cross out the T.
Good. Okay. The next word is ribbed. What's the word?
Ribbed.
Good. What's the base word?
R-I-B. Ribbed.
Ribbed. R-I-B. Good. Okay. Now I want to change it to ribbed.
Add E-D. Oh, add B-E-D.
Yep. And how do you know to add the B-E-D?
Because E is a vowel, and you always had to have consonant. Add a consonant after.
Okay. And then show me how you would mark that. Good. The next word is sinful. Repeat the word.
Sinful.
Okay. And what's the base word?
Sin.
Sin. How do you
You
spell it?
sinner.
How do you spell it?
S-I-N.
Good. Okay. And the suffix is what?
Full.
Full. How do I spell that?
F-U-L.
Good. Okay. How would you do that one? Circle. Underline. Good. The next word is topper. Topper.
Topper.
Okay. So what's the base word?
Top.
Top. How do you spell top?
T-O-P.
Okay. Now I want to make it topper. What do I need to do?
Add P-E-R.
Good. And
Topper, you would.
And the last one is gutless. So repeat the word.
Gutless.
Good. And what's the base word?
Gut.
Gut.
G-U-T.
Okay. What's the suffix?
L-E-S-S. Less.
Good. And then how would you? Good. Can you read those words to me?
Plotting, ribbed, sinful, topper, gutless.
Okay. Listen to the word first, okay? So these are the nonsense words. The word is cray. Before you spell it, could this have a spelling option?
Oh, yes.
Yes. What could say A?
A-I, A-Y.
Or A in a open
Syllable.
A in an open syllable. So we could have, let's think about what it would look like if we had that. So options would be, you said C-R-A-I, C-R-A-Y, or C-R-A. What do you think might? Which one could we eliminate first?
This one.
Yeah. Why would we eliminate that one
Because
first?
it doesn't really end with I.
Yeah. No, we don't really usually end with the vowel I. Okay. What is more common, to end in the Y or to be an open syllable?
To end with a Y.
Good. So which one do you think we should go with?
This one.
Good. Okay. So how would we spell it? C-R-A-Y. Good. Okay. Their nonsense could have spelling options, okay? I'm not gonna make us go through all of them. So the next word is meech. How do you think we would spell meech?
Be M-E-E or M-E-Y-C-H.
Okay, so think about that.
S-E-E.
M-E-E-C-H or M-E-Y? Yeah, so M-E-E-C-H sounds better, yeah. Okay, this next one, you should know, okay? This is a nonsense word, but dorp.
It'd be Dorp, D-O-R-P.
Good. And how'd you know it was the O? Because, how'd you know it was O-R?
Because it had a control, it's a Dorp.
Yeah, good. The next one is slurve.
Slurve. S-L-E-R-V-E.
Good. And that could have had a lot of different options. What other options could
It'd be I-R-U-R or I-R,
you or
E-R, and A-R.
well, when do we have that sound for AR? It only comes at the
At the end. Oh yeah, so it'd be I-R-E-R-U-R.
Good. And the last one is glard.
Glard.
How do you spell it?
G-L-A-R-D.
Good. And then can you read all of those nonsense words to me?
Gray, Meech, Dorp, Slurve, Glard.
Good. Okay. Do you want to do your high frequency words? Okay. The first high frequency word is answer. Repeat the word.
Answer.
How do you spell answer?
A-N-S-W-E-R.
Good. The next word is sum. What's the word?
Sum.
Sum. How do you spell sum?
S-O-M-E.
Good. The next word, good, is mountain. Repeat it.
Mountain.
How do you spell mountain?
M-O-U-N-T-A-I-N.
Good. Mountain. Okay. So now we're going to do sentences. So first you're going to repeat the sentence after me. Mom will console the sobbing child.
Mom will console the sobbing child.
Okay, now write it. Okay. We're going to go through our checklist. So first, point to the words as I say them. Make sure you have all of them. Right? Point to it. Mom will console the sobbing child. Yep. Okay. Do you have a capital M at the beginning of your sentence? Do you have a period at the end of your sentence? Okay, we gotta circle any high frequency words. Which ones do we have?
Will and the.
Good. The next part is tap any one syllable words. So, yeah.
Child.
Child. Good.
Child.
Good. Scoop your multi-syllable words. So, okay. Underline. Do any other words have? Oh, yep. We have one word that has a suffix. So underline your base word and circle your suffix. Okay. I want to go over console and sobbing. So console.
How did this happen?
So hold on. Console. What are the two syllables in console?
Console.
Okay. Con.
Con.
How do you spell it?
C-O-N.
Soul.
S-O-L-E.
Good. So that's what you have. C-O-N-S-O-L-E. Okay. Sobbing. What is the base word in sobbing?
Sob.
Sob. How do you spell sob?
S-O-M. S-O-B.
Okay. S-O-B. Okay. I want to change it to sobbing. So what's
Add a B-I-N-G.
Good. Can you rewrite that because you can't even tell that says sobbing?
You can.
Not at all. Yeah, that's much better. So, circle, yep, underline. Yep, perfect. Okay. Okay, read the sentence and scoop it as you read it.
Monroe consoles a sobbing child.
The what?
The sobbing child.
Good. Do we have any chicken letters?
No.
No. Do we have any digraphs?
No. Oh, yes, teach.
Do we have any blends?
Mm.
That could be a blend. I mean, we don't have to mark it as a blend. Do we have any bonus letters? Technically, there's one right here, but because it's on a high frequency word, we don't have to mark it. Do we have any welding sounds?
Oh, yeah, child.
What's the welding sound?
ILD.
And then mark our syllables. You already marked that one, and you already scooped it. So that sentence is all set. Whoop, I got one more. So repeat the sentence after I say it. The reporter is summing up the facts.
The reporter is summing up the facts. The reporter is summing up the facts.
Okay. We're gonna go through it. So, the reporter is summing up the facts. Okay. Do you have a capital T at the beginning? Period at the end? What are your high frequency words in this?
The is up the
Okay. Do we have any one syllable words?
facts.
You could tap out fact. Can you tap out fact?
Facts.
No. How would you tap out fact?
Act.
And then you could say fact.
The facts.
Facts. Good. Scoop any two syllable words? There's two of them.
Reporter.
Good. And then
Summing.
summing. Good. Okay. Do we have any base word and suffix? Do we have any suffixes in our?
I did one already.
You did that one. There's two more. Good. Okay. Let's look over our multi-syllable words. So let's go over reporter. So how would it be scooped?
Reporter.
Okay. And what is the base word in that sentence?
Report.
Report. So how do we spell report?
REPROR. RT.
T. That's report. How do we change it to reporter?
Add ER.
Good. Okay, let's look at summing. What's-
SUMMING.
Yes. Because what's the base word?
Sum.
Good. Okay. So let's look at this. So read and scoop it as you would say it.
The reporter is summing up the facts.
Good. Do you have any chicken letters? No. Do you have any digraphs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the. Yeah, we can do that. Do you have any blends? We could do one in facts for blend. Do we have any bonus letters? No. Right? Do we have any welded sounds? No? Okay. And you already marked your syllables, right? Okay. Okay, so now you're gonna read to me. First, can you read that word up there for me?
Families.
Families, okay. And what's the title?
Cancer treatment.
Okay. What do you think the story might be about?
Cancer.
Okay.
Or maybe like they found a treatment about it that could cure cancer.
Okay, maybe. Okay, I want to go over two words that we might not know. Afflicted. Have you ever heard that word before?
I have, but I don't understand the meaning.
Okay. It's to cause pain or suffering. That's what it means, okay? And the other word is fatal. You might
Oh, yeah.
know. What does that word mean? Do you know?
No, but I heard of it many times. But fatal, like. Yeah.
It means like deadly.
Oh.
Okay. And there's
Yeah, no, I heard
one
that word.
more. Ultrasonic. Okay. We're talking about something.
Like, does it involve noise?
Usually, yeah, it's like a laser, but it's usually noisy. It's how the cancer treatment's given.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. So now what you need to do, I need you to read it in your head. So remember to make those pictures in your head, in your mind. close your eyes and think about what you read. Make sure you make those pictures in your mind. Are you ready?
Yeah,
So remember, it's called cancer treatment.
Alright. So they're saying that cancer is deadly and they're trying to prevent it from families and trying to prevent like great pain to people.
Okay.
And they said it's really deadly to like try to take it out. So they zapped a ultrasonic thing to try to cure it and stop a lot of bleeding. They're still trying to find a cure for it, and they're trying to make tomorrow a healthy day. They're trying to make a cure.
Okay. Yeah, you got most of it. You did forget a couple things, so I just want you to read through it again and try to think of some things maybe that you forgot.
I know I forgot like half of this.
Yep, so read it over.
June was having fun. Then it was time to bed. All the boys went up.
Okay. So now close your eyes again. Think about it before you tell me.
Dean opens his
Make those
backpack
pictures.
and pulls out a toy. Here is Timmy.
Okay. So remember, it's called cancer treatment. So tell me about what's going on in this story.
Always
So
slept with
they're trying to stop the great pain in people, and they're also trying to prevent like the infection from the victims' family members. And they're saying taking a tumor out of the liver is really dangerous, and so they zapped a supersonic laser, trying to prevent bloody and excessive bleeding. And men are getting us closer to solving like cancer and positive things and trying to make like people healthier.
Okay, that was much better. The big thing I wanted you to think about, is this a new thing or has it been going on for a while?
It's been going on for a while.
Look at that first sentence.
Oh no, I mean it's a new thing.
It's a new treatment. Okay. So this time I want you to read it out loud for me.
A new treatment for cancer of the liver may bring hope to afflicted people. In the past, liver cancer was nearly always fatal, stunning the families of the victims. Tumor removal from the liver is difficult and risky. Now the tumor can be zapped with an ultrasonic probe of sound waves. This greatly reduces the chances of infection or excessive bleeding. Whereas I can't remember that word.
Okay, scoop it.
Processors.
I'm gonna scoop it and then
Procedures.
what sound?
The
This makes like a jur sound.
procedures.
Yeah, like when I think about this word, you probably seen this when you were doing like science fair or something. A procedure.
With procedures such as these, men is stepping closer to positive developments in the defeat of cancer. Advancements today are setting in a way for a hopeful and healthy tomorrow.
So what's this word again?
Procedures.
Good. And can you give me an example of a procedure? I gave you an example of something that you could think about. You said science fair. You need to write your procedure.
Like an essay? Or like
No.
a statement or...
The procedure is the steps that you need to take to get closer. So what is it saying here? With procedures such as these, man is stepping closer.
With steps like this,
Yeah, and what's gonna happen once they use these steps? They're getting
They're
what?
closer to stopping or defeating cancer.
Exactly. Okay. Can you find me one word that has that 1-1-1 rule? And remember, in this it's probably gonna have the ending on it already.
Oh, I was gonna say from.
Which is right. That would be a 1-1-1. But it's gonna have a suffix on the end already.
Closer. Because that has a suffix at the end and oh, never mind.
Why doesn't that one work? I'm
Because
sorry,
there's
what?
already E there.
And talking about how Jim felt about going to this photo party.
He was worried because
Oh, Zap.
Which one?
Zap.
Yeah. Zap, and then what does it become?
Zapped.
We're gonna read this story called Halloween and Candy, a Perfect Match. What do you think the story might be about?
Something's going trick or treating.
Okay, so maybe something about trick or treating. Okay, I wanted to talk about one word that I'm gonna read in the first two paragraphs that we read. Tot. So the sentence is, ever since you were a tiny tot, you've likely realized that in October, candy can be found around every corner. What do you think tot might
Kid.
be? Yeah, it's a little kid. So I'm gonna read the first two paragraphs and you just listen. Halloween and candy go together like milk and cookies, or like peanut butter and jelly. They're a perfect match. Ever since you were a tiny tot, you've likely realized that in October, candy can be found around every corner. It's in grocery stores, it's in packed lunches, it's in little bowls on side tables in just about every home across the country. In fact, candy is so common this time of year, it's estimated that Americans will spend about $2 billion on the sweet stuff. However, the relationship between Halloween and candy is a relatively new one. That's right, 100 years ago, Halloween looked very different than it does today, including the candy part. So what exactly was different? Well, lots of things. One of the biggest differences is what is now known as trick-or-treating. The tradition of having children dress in costumes, ring doorbells, and ask for candy began appearing for the first time in the late 1930s and early 1940s. At that point, it was occurring in only a few spread out places. By the late 1940s, trick-or-treating became widespread, but candy wasn't typically the treat given out. Instead, children would receive items such as coins, nuts, fruit, cookies, cakes, and toys. In the 1950s, big-name food companies promoted their non-candy products as trick-or-treat options. So now I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna draw some pictures as I'm reading to think about what I'm reading. So Halloween and candy go together like milk and cookies or peanut butter and jelly. So for Halloween, I'm gonna draw like a ghost. That's gonna be how I represent Halloween. And then I'll draw like this is my candy bar. Okay, so they go together. So here's a little hand. I'm gonna pretend this has a little hand. I'll put some eyes on it and a mouth. So happy. Okay. They're a perfect match. Ever since you were a tiny tot, you've likely realized that in October, candy can be found around every corner. So I'm gonna draw like a little kid. And I'm just gonna draw like, this is like a store. This is like, and then like a house, right? Where else might you find the candy? I think that's good. It's in the grocery stores, it's in packed lunches, it's in little bowls on side tables in just about every home across the country. In fact, candy is so common this time of year, it's estimated that Americans spend about $2 billion on the sweet stuff. It's a lot of money.
Do it to be.
Alright, 2B. I'm gonna make it like a put like dollar signs on each side. And However, the relationship between Halloween and candy is a relatively new one. That's right. 100 years ago, Halloween looked very different than it does, including the candy part. So what exactly was different? Well, lots of things. One of the biggest differences is what is now known as trick-or-treating. The tradition of children dressing up in costumes, ringing doorbells, and asking for candy began appearing for the first time in the late 1930s and late 1930s and early 1940s. I'm gonna write 1930s to 40s, and then I'm gonna draw like, here's the little kids, and here's the door. There's the doorbell. Now I'm gonna go trick or treat. At that point, it was occurring in only a few spread out places, but the late 1940s trick-or-treating became widespread. But candy wasn't typically the treat given out. Instead, children received items such as coins, nuts, fruit, cookies, cakes, and toys. So they got coins, so money, nuts. There's my bad drawing of a nut. Fruit. There's an apple. Cookies. A little piece of cake. And then toys. So I'll draw like a little car. In the 1950s, big name food companies promoted their non-candy products as trick-or-treat options. Okay. So I want you to tell me, based on what I read in my drawings, what happened in the story so far.
So they're saying that Halloween and candy are like the best combination. And you will be able to find candy in every single place, like grocery stores and houses. People waste up to $2 million or $2 billion on candies. In the 1930s and 40s, trick-or-treat was like kind of different. And then they would give out toys, cake, fruit, cookies, nuts, and money.
This story is called Halloween and Candy, A Perfect Match. So I read this story to you not too long ago. Can you tell me what you remember from what we read?
It's about like how Halloween go together with candy and how it was different back then.
Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is read these first two paragraphs silently in your head. We read this story called Cancer Treatment. So can you tell me anything that you remember from this story?
It's about cancer and how they're looking for treatment.
Do you remember anything else, or is that it?
I think I remember one more thing about how it's dangerous to have like a tumor surgery. That's all I remember.
So what I want you to do now is I want you to, again, read it in your head silently and think about what you're reading. So can you give me any more information about what you read?
So they are looking for a treatment that can like stop cancer from afflicted people, and usually it's mostly fatal to
Do you remember what fatal means?
like deadly.
Death, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they say tumor removal could be really dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
but now they have an easier way by ultrasonic, like zapping ultrasonic.
Remember, it's
And
like
that
a
could-
laser.
Yeah, to stop the infection and excessive bleeding.
Okay. And then, what do they think?
They are getting closer to development of defeating cancer,
Okay.
and they're looking for healthier tomorrow.
Perfect. Okay. This next part is I really want you to think about how you can read it fluently. So when you're scooping it, how you would say it. So I want you to first go through the first paragraph. Just read it in your head first, and while you're reading it, use your pen. You can pencil as you do it. Okay, so I want you to read that first paragraph in your head the way that you scooped it, and then I'm going to have you read it out loud and make sure it sounds correct. Good? Okay, so now read it out loud to me.
A new treatment for the cancer of the liver may bring hope to afflicted people. In the past, the liver cancer was nearly always fatal, stunning the families of the victims.
Okay, that sounded great. So now what I want you to do is do the same thing that you did for those two. So I want you to scoop it how you would say it, reread it in your head, and then we're gonna read the whole thing how you scooped it. And I want you to read these two in your head and make sure you don't need to change any of the scooping. Good? Okay, so now I want you to read the whole thing out loud how you scooped it. From the top, yep.
A new treatment for cancer of the liver may bring hope to afflicted people. In the past, liver cancer was nearly always fatal, stunning the families of the victims. Tumor removal from the liver is difficult and risky. Now, tumor can be stabbed with the ultrasonic probe of sound waves. This greatly reduces the chances of infection or excessive bleeding. With producers such as these, man is stepping closer to positive developments and the defeat of cancer. Advancements today are setting the way for a hopeful and healthier tomorrow.
Can you just tell me what this word is? 'Cause that
Positive procedures.
Yeah, so can you just say this sentence one more time? Because that was.
With procedures as these,
Hold on. Start again. You forgot the section.
with procedures such as these, man is stepping closer to a positive development and defeat of cancer.
We're going to read this story called Halloween and Candy, A Perfect Match. What do you think the story might be about?
Some kids going trick-or-treating.
Okay, so maybe something about trick-or-treating. Okay, I wanted to talk about one word that I'm going to read in the first two paragraphs that we read. Tot. So the sentence is, ever since you were a tiny tot, you've likely realized that in October, candy can be found around every corner. You think tot might
Kid.
Yeah, it's a little kid. So I'm gonna read the first two paragraphs and you just listen. Halloween and candy go together like milk and cookies, or like peanut butter and jelly. They're a perfect match. Ever since you were a tiny tot, you've likely realized that in October, candy can be found around every corner. It's in grocery stores, it's in packed lunches, it's in little bowls on side tables in just about every home across the country. In fact, candy is so common this time of year, it's estimated that Americans will spend about $2 billion on the sweet stuff. However, the relationship between Halloween and candy is a relatively new one. That's right, 100 years ago, Halloween looked very different than it does today, including the candy part. So what exactly was different? Well, lots of things. One of the biggest differences is what is now known as trick-or-treating. The tradition of having children dress in costumes, ring doorbells, and ask for candy began appearing for the first time in the late 1930s and early 1940s. At that point, it was occurring in only a few spread out places. By the late 1940s, trick-or-treating became widespread, but candy wasn't typically the treat given out. Instead, children would receive items such as coins, nuts, fruit, cookies, cakes, and toys. In the 1950s, big-name food companies promoted their non-candy products as trick-or-treat options. So now I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna draw some pictures as I'm reading to think about what I'm reading. So Halloween and candy go together like milk and cookies or peanut butter and jelly. So for Halloween, I'm gonna draw like a ghost. That's gonna be how I represent Halloween. And then I'll draw like this is my candy bar. Okay, so they go together. So here's a little hand, and every time this has a little hand, I'll put some eyes on it and a mouth. Like, so happy. Okay, they're a perfect match. Ever since you were a tiny tot, you've likely realized that in October, candy can be found around every corner. So I'm gonna draw like a little kid. And I'm just gonna draw like, this is like a store. This is like, and then like a house, right? Where else might you find the candy? I think that was good. It's in the grocery stores, it's in packed lunches, it's in little bowls on side tables in just about every home across the country. In fact, candy is so common this time of year, it's estimated that Americans spend about $2 billion on the sweet stuff. That's a lot of money.
Is it 2B?
Alright, 2B. I'm gonna make it like a put like dollar signs on each side. And however, the relationship between Halloween and candy is a relatively new one. That's right. 100 years ago, Halloween looked very different than it does, including the candy part. So what exactly was different? Well, lots of things. One of the biggest differences is what is now known as trick-or-treating. The tradition of children dressing up in costumes, ringing doorbells, and asking for candy began appearing for the first time in the late 1940s and late 1930s and early 1940s. I'm gonna write 1930s, so 40s, and then I'm gonna draw like, here's the little kids, and here's the door, there's the doorbell, and then I'm gonna go trick or treat. At that point, it was occurring in only a few spread out places, but the late 1940s trick-or-treating became widespread. But candy wasn't typically the treat given out. Instead, children received items such as coins, nuts, fruit, cookies, cakes, and toys. So they got coins, so money, nuts. There's my bad drawing of a nut. Fruit. There's an apple. Cookies. piece of cake. And then toys. So I'll draw like a little car. In the 1950s, big name food companies promoted their non-candy products as trick-or-treat options. Okay. So I want you to tell me, based on what I read in my drawings, what happened in the story so far.
So they're saying that Halloween and candy are like the best combination. And you will be able to find candy in every single place, like grocery stores and houses. People waste up to $2 million or $2 billion on candies. In the 1930s and 40s, trick-or-treat was like kind of different. And then they would give out toys, cake, fruit, cookies, nuts, and money.
This story is called Halloween and Candy, A Perfect Match. So I read this story to you not too long ago. Can you tell me what you remember from what we read?
It's about like how Halloween go together with candy and how it was different back then.
Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is read these first two paragraphs silently in your head. So I want you, before you tell me, to think about what you read for a second. Think about maybe some more of the details that maybe you forgot when you were telling me what it was about. Okay, you think you're good? Okay. So tell me a little more about what this story is about.
So it's about like trick-or-treating and about how it was way different back then and now. How back then they really didn't have trick-or-treating until like the 1930s and 40s. And how they didn't really wear costumes and didn't get candy.
What did they get instead?
They got apple, cake, toys, cookies, and some candy.
Okay. Now this time I want you to read it out loud to me. The first two paragraphs.
Halloween candy go together like milk and cookies. They are a perfect match. When you were a tiny tot, you were likely quick to gasp that candy is everywhere in the months of October. You will find in markets, in bagged lunches, and in small dishes on side tables, in almost every home across the state. It is estimated Americans will spend lots of cash on candy in the fall. However, the link connecting Halloween candy is a new one. That's correct. 100 years ago, Halloween was a lot different than it is today, including the candy part. So, what exactly was different? Well, lots of things. First, trick-or-treat did not happen until late 1930s and early 1940s. Before that, children did not dress in costumes, ring doorbells, and ask for candy. It was not a costume that was quick to catch on. But the late 1940s, trick-or-treat was more common, but candy was not given up that much. In fact, children would mostly get items such as cash, nuts, cake, apple, and small toys.
Good. Okay. I heard this one I heard gasp. You missed a letter.
Oh, grasp.
Grasp. Good. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to take these first let's do the first 3 sentences. First, I want you to scoop them how you would say them. So scoop it first, and then I want you to read them. Yep, you can actually scoop it.
Halloween candy go together like milk and cookies. They are a perfect match. If you were a tiny tot, you would likely quick to grasp candy. It's everywhere in the month of October.
Okay, let's look at the second sentence.
Yes.
This one, right here. When you were a tiny tot, you were likely quick to grasp that candy is everywhere in the month of October. Is there any other way that you can maybe do that you don't have to take so many breaths?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so read it how it would say it now.
When you were a tiny tot, you were likely quick to grasp the candy. It's everywhere in the month of October.
This passage, can you read that for me?
Underwater hockey.
Okay, when you hear that title, I know it sounds kind of crazy. What does it make you think of? Like, what could this story possibly be about?
That's probably a sport named hockey, but underwater.
Okay, do you know anything about hockey?
They
the
play on
sport?
ice.
Okay, they play on ice. What do they use?
Little thing.
Okay, yeah, it's called a puck.
And
And
it's
then-
net. Oh,
And they have the nets and they have sticks, right? So, when I'm thinking of underwater hockey, I don't know, let's think about it. We know it's some type of sport. We know hockey, we know there's a puck and there's some sticks. So I think this story probably is going to be about how it came to be, like what it's about, how it works. What do you think? Is there anything else that you can think of? Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to read it back and forth. You're going to read a sentence, then I'm going to read a sentence. We're just going to read the first page. Okay? What I want you to do is I want you to scoop the first sentence how you would say it.
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of strange, but there are lots of strange, even wacky sports in the world.
Okay, my turn. And I'll say it. I'm going to scoop it how I would say it. You've probably heard of some of the more extreme ones like slacklining, volcano boarding, and cliff diving. Have you ever heard of these things? I've never heard of slacklining or volcano boarding. Cliff diving kind of makes sense. Like, think
Oh, you just
about
fall
what,
off, yeah.
like you jump off the cliff, right?
Have you ever heard of underwater hockey?
That's right. Some athletes prefer to play hockey underwater instead of on ice. So what are you thinking? Like when you think of like, picture it. What do you picture like when you
Like
see
scuba
that?
divers underwater hitting a little thing.
Yeah, like I picture like, but if they had to be underwater, could you just like play underwater? Like what would you need to have on?
Oxygen.
Yeah, you
food.
need some like kind of like mask or suit on.
Despite being little known by the public, underwater hockey is considered a global sport. It has been around since the 1950s.
Okay. So even though we've never heard of it, clearly it's been around. Do you think it's actually popular here in Boston? Maybe it's not popular here. Maybe it's like, do you know any places that hockey's like really popular? Like Canada is really popular with hockey.
Isn't it cold over there?
It's very cold. So like it's cold a lot. So that's one of the sports that they actually play, and they get to play a lot of it outside. Like we only have winter for a couple of months. Like they have longer winters than us. Underwater hockey was invented in 1954 by a diver named Alan Blake. Okay, so he's a diver. So he dives in the water. Okay. But that's like in the ocean. So how do you think he would come up with underwater hockey if he's a diver?
I don't know. More because like he's in the water, and
Yeah.
probably because
Like, I don't know. Maybe he like saw something. I'm not sure. Let's see.
he first played the sport with a group of other divers at the Thousand Seas Subaquarium Club in Portsmouth, England.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this one again. He first played the sport. You read it.
He first played the sport with a group of other divers at the South Sea Subaquarium Aqua.
Okay, what is it?
Aqua.
Aqua. So and let's do. So aqua was one of them that we. And then what's this one? It's not.
Portsmouth.
It's not. So it's spelled mouth, like our mouth, but it's pronounced Portsmouth.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Portsmouth.
Okay, so start at the beginning over here.
He first played the sport with a group of other divers at the Southern Sea Sub Aqua Club in Portsmouth, England.
Okay, now you gotta do it as you scooped it. Watch. This is how you scooped it. He first played the sport with a group of divers at the South Sea Sub Aqua Club in Portsmouth, England. So you try.
He first played the sport with another group of divers at the South Sea Sub Aqua Club in Portsmouth, England.
So where did it start?
England.
England. So before we continue, I'm just gonna draw a couple pictures to help us remember, because I'm gonna ask you what you learned after. So what's something that you think we should like draw? Is there anything that you can think of? Like, I'm gonna first. It's like talking about all these different kinds of sports that you can
So
play.
it should be like question mark and like all different sports.
Okay, so a question mark and then different sports. Okay. And then I'm gonna draw something, and I'm gonna write like, draw this person, and I'm gonna put like fins on them, and this is their little mask, and then I'm gonna put the hockey stick in it, and then I'm gonna show that they're underwater, to show that it's the underwater hockey, and I'm gonna write 1950s because that's when it started, okay? And then we learned that this guy named Alan, right, created it, and what did he do? He was a
Diver.
diver, so it's like he's diving into the water. Back then, underwater hockey was known as octopush, and some people in the United Kingdom still use that name today. Okay, octopush. Why do you think you would name something octopush?
The octopus because he's underwater and then probably pushing the stick across.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Drink of water.
Yeah, go. So I'm gonna draw a picture to represent that, okay? I'm gonna draw, maybe I'll draw an octopus. Octopus have 8 legs, right? Octopush. It's your turn.
The rule required teams of 8 players to use a small bat called a pusher to hit lead puck called a squid into a cold goal called a cuttle.
Yeah, how'd you know that was cuttle instead of like tile or
Because
something?
I heard just one before, cuddle.
You did?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of cuddle like you're cuddling, right? Are you thinking of the with a D, like, oh, I cuddle with someone?
Yeah, but I just said
But
cut with
yeah,
a T.
cuttle. Yeah, but we also know that because it has the consonant LE, right? So we know that the E is silent. E is silent and it makes the T sound, it makes only the L and it makes the U long. Good. So let's talk about this. What do you think we should draw maybe for a picture to help us remember? So there's teams of 8, so should I draw like 8 heads on one side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the 8 players, and they have a little bat. And then it's a puck. And then their goal. I'm still trying to picture what this would look like underwater. I'm still not sure if I can like see it yet. Can you?
Mm-mm.
But it kind of makes sense why they call it octopush now, because it's a pusher for their bat, right? And then
And
their
the
puck
squid.
is called a squid. Okay. The first big octopush competition was a 3-way tournament in 1955. So I'm gonna write I'm gonna draw like a cup, because like that represents, and I'm gonna write 1955 because it's a competition.
Since then, underwater hockey has developed into an international sport. World championships occurring every 2 years.
Good. So it's like a world thing now. So I'm just gonna draw like a picture of a globe, and like there's different places in the world. There are 44 teams from 17 countries, including Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, the USA, and France. So I'm gonna write 17 countries participate, right? Okay, and I think
Underwater hockey is also played in Japan, Singapore, Germany, Italy, Spain, Ireland, Belgium, Belgium.
we'll talk about it after.
The list goes on and on.
Okay, good. Let's look at these ones. So you said you had trouble with this one. It was almost right. You changed this one, so
It was Ireland, Ireland.
Ireland. Yep.
I
So-
remember this is a word in ELA. I was reading it and it said Ireland.
Yep. So you were so close. How would you scoop that word?
Singapore.
So sing.
Singapore.
Poor.
Singapore?
Singapore. So this one, I'd scoop. How would we scoop it?
Belgium. Oh, Belgium.
Yeah.
It's really
Okay.
hard.
Yep. And that's why we're working on it. So can you read the sentence over again?
Underwater hockey is also played in Japan, Singapore, Germany, Italy, Spain, Ireland, Ireland,
Good.
and Belgium. The list goes on and on.
Good. So I'm just gonna write like lots of places, right? Gonna draw
Ireland.
like
You said Ireland. Sorry.
gonna draw like land and write lots of places. So before we look at the pictures and before you retell me what's going on, I want you to close your eyes and think about what we just read. Play some pictures in your mind, think about everything that was said. And when you're ready, let me know.
I need to do the hockey.
Just tell me what you remember. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they started playing underwater hockey. It was invented by a guy for his name, but I know his last name is Blake.
Yeah. Alan.
Alan Blake in the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And the rules were there was 8 people on each side, and they pushed a little. I forgot the name. They named it something.
It's okay. We'll use this to help us after.
And then they had like a World Cup champion with like 17 areas, and they still play in other countries.
Okay, so let's see if this can help us think about some like more of the stuff that we learned. Okay, so first it starts off with,
Different sports.
yeah, so do you remember what some of the sports are that they talked about? Or at least one of them? Remember it was one that we kind of could picture?
Oh,
Remember
cliff diving.
Cliff diving, good. And then, what's this one?
And then 1950 they started playing underwater hockey.
Underwater hockey. And who made it?
Alan Blake,
Good. And what was he?
he was a diver.
He was a diver.
They
Good.
called it octopus.
Good call. So there were
There was
8
8
people
people.
on a team. This was the bat. Do you remember what the bat was called?
The pusher.
The pusher, good. And this was the puck. Do you remember what that one was called?
Ink. What is it?
From what inks? It's what animal does ink come out of?
Octopus.
Not an octopus, like an octopus.
I forgot what it was called.
Squid.
Squid, yeah.
And then this goal is called a what? Remember you read the word and you thought it was like cuddle?
Cuttle.
Cuddle. Good. And then what happens?
1955 is like a World Cup championship.
And now
And there was 17 countries fighting in lots of places.
lots of places play at what?
Underwater hockey, octopus.